Nothing builds character and story into a home faster than the use of reclaimed materials. And this next incredible cabin that we're about to visit is a masterclass in both salvage and style. G'day Louie, how's it going, mate?
Good, Bryce, how are you?
Very well, thank you, and I am really excited to check out this cool house you've built.
Yeah, it was a bit of a work in progress, but had my brother in there helping. It was, just come along good.
Absolutely. So this was a project that you and your brother worked on together?
Well, he did all the building and stuff. I was kind of like a bit of a mule, I suppose, dragging all the timber around the district and milled a lot of the timber. But yeah, it was mainly him building it, yeah.
It must have been such a cool thing getting to actually work on a project like this together.
It was cool. It was really enjoyable just watching it come together. We sort of once a week would come out, do the big clean-up, and then they'd do another week and you get to see all the results again. It was awesome.
And with this build, you've used a lot of reclaimed materials, haven't you?
Yeah, as a beekeeper, I was kind of always shooting around the countryside, and I was always on the lookout for the hardwood poles we've used for the veranda. And I sort of stopped at every time I seen one, I'd stop and have to go and approach the farmer and ask what he's doing with it. And it's generally rubbish to me, so I was out there hauling them onto my ute. So heavy, but so worth it.
Oh yeah. And can you tell me about the overarching design ethos behind this place?
I think we were away on holiday at the time, and we sort of had a magazine or something, and it had this real South Island type sort of high country cabin, So yeah, we just wanted to go with that sort of high country South Island sort of look. The zinc aluminum cladding always gives it that rustic kind of feel.
Yeah.
Mixes well with our hardwood power poles and sort of other materials we've picked up along the way.
Amazing. And you're a family of 3 living here now?
Yep. So it's me, Julia, and baby son Ali, who's 4 months now.
When we had Ali, a lot of people said, what's it like living in such a small space with having a baby? And yeah, it's been perfect for us so far. We couldn't really ask for a better first house for our little family, eh?
Yeah, no, it works really well.
And what size is the home?
Inside is 30 squares, and then it kind of has like a 70 square metre head on it as such.
Great.
Yeah.
What a fantastic way of doing it. And what was the inspiration behind building a small home?
I guess for us it was like a budget thing. Like we wanted land, so it was either we went and spent 300-400 grand on a small bit of land where we could only probably build a real house on, or get a bigger bit of land and build a smaller house, So it's just like a balancing act for us.
Yeah, I completely understand that. And you've got about 5 acres here, don't you?
Yeah, 5 acres. We bought it with a friend, so we've just finished subdividing it, so we have our own title each. Yeah, 2.5 acres each, which is plenty, I think.
Yep.
Enough to run a few cows and a few sheep.
It's a great size.
Yeah.
And especially building to the smaller footprint, you get more of the land to enjoy.
That's right, yeah. We love gardening and planting and all that sort of stuff. We want to have an orchard, and it's sort of all the sort of things you kind of miss out on if you just live residentially, I guess. And
you've started some wetland planting here too.
Yeah, we've planted about 6,000 natives so far.
Wow.
Which is all sort of part of the consent stuff for the subdivision, but in saying that, it's a pretty satisfying thing to do as well,
It sure is. And one of the things that I really like about the design of this house is the way that you've separated the living area and the sort of quasi-indoor-outdoor bathroom. That's a very cool feature.
Yeah, we actually talk a lot about that with our mates. It's kind of like, even I think if we were to build a bigger house, just having a whole wet area that doesn't require all the nooks and crannies to be always cleaned, it's kind of like a place that can breathe,
Yeah.
Would probably do it again even if we built a bigger place, to be honest.
And you've even got a business here on this land as well with the jiu-jitsu studio. That's really cool.
Yeah. We started the Black Swamp Dojo a year ago, I guess, and we're just trying to incorporate the jiu-jitsu with sort of health and well-being workshops and yoga and all that sort of stuff. Just a space people can come and all learn together. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And you're a beekeeper as well, aren't you?
Yeah, so we started a company, Mangawhai Honey, about 4 years ago. I finished up my building apprenticeship and I was kind of had a guts full of building, and my mate Tim said, we've got a job beekeeping if you want it. And I was like, yeah, sweet. So I jumped on with him for 2 years and sort of built up my hive numbers to sort of go out on my own, and then just started a brand and started selling at the markets. And then today we've probably got maybe 30 stockists or something like that and selling online, and it's going really well, enjoying it, It's cool.
Congratulations. Well, you have totally nailed this ultra cool rustic aesthetic on the outside of the home, and I cannot wait to see what you've done on the inside. Can we take a look?
Yeah, come check it out.
Thank you very much. This is so cool. The combination of all of the materials that you've got in here is just working so incredibly well.
We obviously wanted to use a lot of timber, and then obviously didn't want it to be too timbery, so we had to sort of come up with that colour contrast that we wanted, and we love the colour green, as you can see, so we kind of blended it all with the sort of khaki kind of green.
Yeah. I think one of the cool things about building cabins like this is you just get to experiment so much with materials, like the way that you've offset the stainless steel bench top with the green tiles, and then that's right next to the brick wall. It's so harmonious, but just makes every place that you look at interesting.
Like I said earlier, it was one of those things we just sort of off the cuff really, we just, oh, that'll work, yeah, we'll put some floating shelves there, I'll use all the acre carpet for the windowsills, and we'll put the brick up, and we just sort of floated it all together really.
And with you and your brother both being builders, and with you sort of having the ability to sort of collect all of these cool materials, it makes the whole process a lot more fun because it's just an experiment, right?
Yeah, you just find materials you kind of like, and you just have to run with it. You don't have architects saying, well, that'll work or that'll won't. It's just, yeah, just going with it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And with the lounge over here, you've got this really nice big couch.
Yeah, the couch we just got for free from some of the neighbours, and it just, funnily enough, it just worked. It was the perfect size.
And it is a great fire that you've got in here as well.
Yeah, the Roaring Meg, I was following them on Instagram for a fair while, and I always knew that was the fire we were going to go with. Me and my brother always sort of went back and forth. He's right into the Wagner, and I was like, no, Roaring Meg's better, blah, blah, blah. We always had a good joke about that. But yeah, no, really stoked with that way. We do a little bit of cooking on it, and it's got a wetback in it, which we haven't hooked up just yet, but in the future we might do like an outdoor sort of hot tub that we can just run the wetback just for that purpose.
Great idea.
Yeah.
And the bricks there definitely look like they've got a story to tell.
So the bricks are from the Real Groovy building in Auckland, which is an old record store at the top of Queen Street there, which is pretty cool. Just super rustic and higgledy-piggledy.
Yeah, looks so good though. And the kitchen, great size, lots of prep space, nice stainless steel benches.
That was another marketplace kind of find. I just found an Indian fella down in South Auckland who was making them out of his garage, which was pretty cool. So I went down and checked it all out, and he showed me what it was going to look like. And yeah, he did a good cheap price on it, which was cool. Love the stainless and sort of wood look. It really goes together quite well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a kitchen is such a utilitarian space, and having materials like that you don't have to be precious about is just so nice, because you want to be able to bang things around in your kitchen and just not worry about it, eh?
Totally, it's so good just being able to drag a hot pot straight off the fire or off the hobs and not have to worry about you're going to burn a hole in something, hey, or mark it or whatnot, and easy to wipe down. It's awesome.
Absolutely. And you've got lots of storage space underneath the bench as well?
Yeah, Julia was a little bit more like, I'd prefer it to be all closed in, and I was like, nah, I quite like the busy look of everything you need for a kitchen.
Yep.
The kitchen size it's probably, just as big as most people's kitchens that have in a normal home almost, like we never feel out of space, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got the 4-burner stovetop there, and it's cool to see you've got the toaster oven as well. I don't think there's anything you can't do in a toaster oven, eh?
Yeah, my sister's got one of those, and I think Mum and Dad are building a new house at the moment, and they're still stuck with one of those too. So yeah, that just works so well.
And then you've got the full-size fridge and even more storage over the back here?
Yeah, that was one of the things we joked with my brother about. He did such an awesome job of everything. And then we come back in one day and he had this plywood carcass made up for the fridge, and we just come there like, wow, nah, that's not going to work. Called the kitchen maker Brownie, and he come in and whacked that up, which we're super stoked about. Love it. Just sort of all matches real well.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It does. And the timbers that you've used in here as well are just immediately striking, especially the floor and ceiling.
I suppose the whole building was built around this floor. We heard that there was a floor up towards the surf beach that was demoed, so we went and checked it out, and it was like, it's one of the oldest batches in Mangawhai, an old matai floor. We didn't get to decide what shape the building was, it was just decided for us. So we got some cool pictures of moving this floor in straight onto the piles, building the house around it, and then getting the floor sander in to finish them off.
That's just so cool. And then the ceiling as well, just so much character.
Yeah, that's South Island Beach, which I seen on Trade Me. I think it was a $1 reserve, and ended up getting it for like $500 for the whole native timber ceiling. It was pretty cool.
Unbelievable. Yeah. It's so cool that in this day and age where we're sort of being plagued by ridiculous inflation and cost of materials going through the roof, it's almost comforting to know that there are those deals still out there. Right?
Yeah, for sure. There's still a few deals out there because people just don't know the value of like old timbers in that, eh?
Yeah. And then the bedrooms next door, can we check that out?
Yeah, wander through and we'll have a look.
Let's take a look. Hey, this is really nice. And one of the things that just jumps out to me about this home is that every direction you look, you've just got the most spectacular rural views.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We were lucky enough to have that big pane of glass to sort of build the home around. A friend of ours was building a place in Mangawhai, and I think the glass had a bit of a blood stain on the inside, so it was no good to them. So we managed to pick that up and build our bedroom around that, just to be able to look straight out the bed onto the mown lawn and the trees growing and whatnot. It works well.
And there's nothing more relaxing than just being able to watch a cow.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool, and just to be able to watch people come and go, and yeah, no, that's awesome.
And really comfortable space that you've created here for the bedroom as well. I like the way that you've got the built-in storage with the plywood as well.
Yeah, we just chose to build that back wall out of 300mm framing just so we could have those recessed shelves in there just to gain that little bit of extra space. I guess it's all those little things you do in a tiny home to create a little bit extra space.
And you've got storage under the bed as well?
Yeah, we've 4 drawers in it, which is sock drawers, baby drawers, and linen drawers. Yeah, no,
perfect.
Yeah.
And the area that you have created for the baby is really clever.
Yeah, it was just like the only sort of area we could use. My clothes ended up going out to the bathroom, little sacrifice for the baby, and built a cot in there. And the sleep lady was saying it's the perfect place to have a baby sleeping in a real dark, quiet room. So
yeah,
he's just actually moved into there. We had a cot beside the bed, and I think it's his second night tonight in his new room, which is pretty cool.
Wow. And do you have any strategy for what you're going to do as he gets older now?
Would be pretty comfortable in here until he was, say, 2 or something like that. And if we chose to have a second child, then we'd probably think of building a bigger home.
Yep.
But for now, it works really well.
Yeah, fair enough. And can we take a look at what you've done with the bathroom outside?
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Let's take a look. This is really cool. It's definitely a far cry from your average outhouse, isn't it?
Yeah, we were sort of just after a place that we could have dry space, have our toilet, have our shower, and it'd be a room that never really got too mucky, if you know what I mean. You know, you just use it as, it's almost like a dry little shed space type toilet space, you know, it's good, yeah.
Yeah, and I love the way that you've gone for these very elemental materials in here as well, with the stone look tiles, the beautiful timbers, and that thick concrete basin, which is especially cool.
Yeah, that was another good find off Marketplace. It worked out really well. Yeah, and then we just sort of thought we'd add in the brass sort of wear, and it sort of goes well with that concrete type look, the old garden taps, and yeah, no, it's choice.
Yeah, and it's nice the way you've done the concrete shower as well.
Yeah, we just boxed it up and pretty much essentially just poured it straight over the decking, and yeah, it works awesome.
Great. And you've got an incinerating toilet here.
Yeah, we went with the Eco Ash toilet, which was a really good option in the fact that you don't have to worry about a septic system and worry about going through all the rigmarole with a council. It's all council compliant. And yeah, it just works really well. I think every 100 uses we get a cup of ash and we put it on the lemon tree, and yeah, happy days.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
And this is where your wardrobe got moved to.
Yeah, that was my little sacrifice in terms of making room for the baby. But it's pretty easy, to be fair. It means I can come out here, have a shower, straight into my clothes, and away we go.
Yeah, nice and easy. And so how long have you been living here now?
About 1.5 years.
And how's the space working out for you?
It feels like it's honestly all we need. Like, it's just, we never feel too cramped in here. It's really works for us.
And obviously you're adjusting to life with the little one as well?
Yeah, it's been awesome, to be honest. Everyone said, get ready for all the sleepless nights and that, but touch wood, it's been pretty good so far. So yeah, hopefully it stays like that.
Yeah, I've actually heard that it can even be somewhat easier in small spaces because you have that sort of proximity and the comfort of the close family unit.
Yeah, I guess it's quite a warm environment in here, especially when the fire's going, and it's all pretty cozy. Hopefully the baby feels that as well.
Yeah. And this is just such a cool project. It's built with so much character. You've utilized all of these gorgeous reclaimed materials. Can we talk about the cost that was involved in making this home a reality?
Yeah, so I guess for the average person, trying to do it for what we did it for might not be as a fair assumption, but for us, I think it cost about 130 grand maybe. But yeah, obviously we milled a lot of our own timbers, and I put in a lot of my time, which probably isn't accounted for, and yeah, reuse materials and not let concrete go to waste, and all those sort of little things help come off the overall price, eh?
Yeah, I mean, that is a really remarkable result, but as you say, that stands testament to all of the time and effort that you've poured into getting all of those reclaimed materials and being so thrifty with those resources.
Yeah, that's right. It's all part of the fun, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like simple living, having minimal things, and yeah, you don't need much to live.
I guess there's always like so many cool books and stuff around like tiny homes and cabins and stuff, and it just always seems so much more exciting building something smaller than it does like a big house, you know?
We just love living here. It's a special place to us. We love the land. I guess it's our first family home, so that's pretty special to us.
And now the house is finished, you're all settled in. What does the future hold for you now?
We've really been enjoying sort of doing stuff down at the dojo and that sort of thing, and so we'll try to grow that space and keep growing the mangawhai honey and see where that takes us. We want to get chooks and all that sort of things, you know, and just sort of be a bit more self-sustainable and yeah, just enjoy our land. I love being out here, so yeah.
What a great plan. Well, Louis, this is such a beautiful property you have and a truly incredible home that you've built here for you and your family. Thank you so much for sharing it with me.
Yeah, cheers for coming, Bryce.
My pleasure. This is just such a cool house that Louis and Julia have built. You can see that each and every part of this home has a story. It's a collection of wonderful materials that have all been harmoniously brought together to create an amazing home for this couple. It's so exciting that they've now welcomed their new addition to the family into this space, and I just can't wait to see that the home and the land now grows together with the family.